Well, hey there, everyone. How's it going? The weather's kind of nice. I'm in Southern California, and apparently, I can only do videos from like hot tubs or hot springs now. I've become really, really spoiled. This is going to be not a sports betting video for those of you who've been watching some of the algorithms that I do for hockey and college basketball and other sports. There will be a whole March Madness thing coming out this weekend as I work with that. And Katrina will be in for that. It's going to be awesome. So that's going to be Sunday. This is a different video about money and about stocks and about the stock market. Somebody asked me via like a YouTube comment, I think. They're like, how do you travel so much? How do you kind of afford or really to travel all this different places and everything? And the answer is, I work from anywhere. Number one, the pandemic's kind of made that easy for a lot of professions where nobody wants you to show up at the office anymore anyway, so you can work from anywhere. So that's number one. So when you do work, you have to work from anywhere. Number two is, well, how do you make smart decisions when it comes to spending money and making money, right? And I spend a lot of money that I shouldn't. I'm bad at that, but I also try to make more. And well, what's going on in the stock market now, and if you pay attention to the stock market, as I kind of was forced to during the pandemic, you start to see how the fluctuations work, and there's all this new money that was just flooded into the system over the last year, especially trillions and trillions of dollars into the market, and that money has to go somewhere. And I think a lot of us, most of us, are not billionaires, and most of us have to budget and have to care about money. And so to see others just flaunting ridiculous wealth all over the place kind of makes us angry and envious at what is happening. But the truth is, in the stock market today, there's no reason that we all just can't get a bite of this enormous pie, because there was a $6 trillion pie that just got inflated. So what's supposed to happen is the slices of that pie are not supposed to taste as good because they're inflated with a lot of air. But it turns out it doesn't really matter if it sits in the stock market and the pie just tastes the same at this point, because what's a billion or what's a million, it doesn't really matter. I guess it's all just funny money to begin with. So what am I getting at? Well, I decided, the title of this video, I think I'm going to name this thing, How I Bought a Cybertruck with $500. The reason why I'm going to kind of do that series and talk about how I'm going to do that is you absolutely can buy a Tesla vehicle with $500 if you're willing to mess around with Tesla stock and Tesla options specifically over like the next year. I'm going to say that by the end of this year, by end of 2021, I will have to purchase a Tesla with the amount of money that we will have by that point or sooner. I want to buy a Cybertruck sooner than that, but let's say on December 31st, 2021, we have to pay for a Cybertruck with this $500 that we just started with about a week ago. So what am I doing? What am I talking about? Let's get into options trading, and I'll discuss it. I will talk about it as simply as I can and what the plan is. So currently, I purchased one option, it is called. Now, options are interesting and they're complicated. It took me a while to learn them when I got into looking at how stocks work and stuff, because it's a little counterintuitive, it's weird, and it's really, really volatile. So options are the ability to purchase 100 shares of something is one option. You can buy 100 shares of something at a certain price. So the right to purchase 100 shares is basically what an option is. And this right to purchase shares changes, or the amount that it's worth really, changes dramatically all throughout the day, especially on a stock like Tesla, where Tesla just has amazing swings, and there's just a lot of money going in and out of the company. And so I'm going to show you how to turn $500 into a Tesla. That's what I'm going to do here. Now, what did I buy? I already spent $495 of my $500 on a Tesla option. What did I buy? And I'm going to explain what I bought and what the words mean and what we're going to do with it over the next short term even. So I bought an option that expires. So options, the other thing, expire. They're for periods of time. And the option that I purchased on Tesla was an option that expires on June 18th of this year. So only 99 days away right now. And it is a call option. A call option means that when you purchase a call option, you want the stock to go up, because when the stock goes up, especially above the price that you have named in the option, which is called the strike price, When the stock price goes up above that, you start making $100 for every dollar that the stock goes up because you have the right to buy 100 shares. So it starts, that's $1,000 every $10 that the stock goes up. That's the intrinsic value of what happens when you get over your strike price. So I have a strike price of $1,450 a share. Now, Ken, you're a lunatic. Ken, you're a maniac. That is more than twice what the current share price is at $6.89 right now, according to our little Google Finance formula thing that's working. Why on earth would Tesla get to that amount in just under 4 months, right? Or three or 4 months. How is that going to happen? The answer is you're probably right. They're probably not going to get to 1,450. Some really amazing things would have to happen, which could, that might get them there. But you're probably right. So didn't I just throw my $500 away? Like, I just said that they're going to get to 1,450. They don't get to 1,450. I lose everything. The intrinsic value of that option all of a sudden becomes zero, because if Tesla stays below 1,450 a share, then the right to purchase Tesla at 1,450 share is dumb. You could get it less on the open market, so your option is worthless. That's what call options are about. They're about periods of time and what's going to happen to stocks. Well, here's the thing. It's not just about what your strike price is, though, when it comes to values of options, because the future is in some ways undetermined, many ways undetermined. So it's also about fluctuations in what's happening with the company and where they're at. I bought my $500 option, I believe, a week ago. It was about a week ago, and I bought it for $495, and I bought it when Tesla's share price was at about $675, a little bit lower than it is right now. Now, over that last 10 days or so, Tesla dropped dramatically. Like, if we look at what happened to Tesla over the last 15 days, which this chart should change when we do that, you'll see that they had a massive. I bought the option right around, I guess, like here, I think is when I bought it. And they went down much, almost $100 a share more. They're at $560 or something at some point. I, of course, was not worried at all. I was like, man, I wish I'd buy another one right now. That's what I was thinking. But that would go against what we're doing here, which is, say you only had $500. How are you going to turn $500 into a Cybertruck? We'll show you how to do it. So I purchased this option at $1,450 a share. Well, now that over the last few days, it has been going up, okay, this June 18th $1,450 call option that I purchased for $495 is now worth $660 right now. So I'm already up $160. I could sell this option right now and take now my new $660 and then buy another Tesla option. That's what we're going to be doing in the future, but I'm not going to sell it yet. And the reason why I'm not going to sell it yet is because of where Tesla's share price is and what will be happening in the relatively near future. So if you look at the last 30 days, Tesla took a huge dive, and then even huger dive, right? They were up at like $900 a share or something. They were way up there. So what's going on? Is all of a sudden Tesla not the company of the future that I keep saying they're going to be, given that they do everything and have the best engineers? No, Tesla's still awesome and only getting stronger. But the money situation changed briefly in the economy, meaning it was time to pay taxes. Like, I always have to remind everybody this. I was doing tax work last night. I'm going to be doing some today after this. And what happens is when February and March and April roll around and people made a lot of money in the stock market the previous year, as anyone in the stock market did, almost anyone, unless you were shorting the market, all those people have to pay taxes. Even if it's a lower capital gains tax of like 15 or 20 or 25% or whatever it is, no matter what it is, it's still you're going to see that come out of the economy, come out of the securities that these people own, because they just have massive tax bills that they have to pay. So that's what I believe fostered this drip or drop in the market in March. And it'll happen again at the beginning of April when personal people realize they also have to pay their taxes. So there's another one of those. But there's so much money in the system. And the money's not going anywhere. The inflation's going to be felt somewhere. It's going to be felt in the market. It is being felt in the market right now. When you look at like a company like GameStop, right? Like GME, is it? GameStop is also experiencing this inflation by having and doing drastic, crazy, insane things. They're at $2.58 a share. They're not worth it. But people that have money, they have accumulated massive amounts of money through playing the stock market on companies like Tesla, in the way I'm explaining, just are having fun with things. They're saying, I want to be a master of the universe through Wall Street bets on Reddit. We're all going to be masters of the universe in this subforum, and we're going to do things like this. We're going to do things like create mountains out of charts that don't exist in nature. I've drove through Colorado mountains that look like this. I love it. That's what I always do the analogy to when I see something beautiful like this. This is beautiful volatility. It means if you pay attention to this and want to day trade options, you have no choice but to either lose a fortune or make a fortune. And if you stick in here long enough, you just make a fortune, because you have to sell at some point. So let's back up a second. So the $660 I have, which keeps changing, it's now worth still $660. Although Tesla's at $690 a share. Sorry, it's now $662.50. We just made another $250. We know that $250. Should we sell? No. Here's why we're not going to sell. I'll tell you when we're going to sell. We're going to sell later this month. But we're not going to sell yet. And the reason why is when we look at Tesla again, and we look at the 75-day trend, as soon as everyone gets done with paying their taxes, and they want to then go back to being masters of the universe and make real money, you can expect that the Wall Street bet kids and the hedge funds as well, everybody who isn't hell-bent on continuing to have oil and combustion vehicles rule the planet, which it's clearly dying fast, they're going to throw their money back into Tesla, and you're going to see Tesla at least flatline up here for a little while. And I mean, this ridge right here, this ridge is like 800 a share in my mind. So when they get to 800 a share is when I'm going to sell this option. And the option will probably be worth over $1,000 at that point. Maybe even $1,500 or something. And then we're going to take it and we're going to recycle, and we're going to wait for Tesla to go down, and we're going to come back in and get a lower strike price option that we might be able to hit before the end of the year. And we're going to keep doing that and keep cycling that until we have, $100,000 or $70,000, whatever we need for the Cybertruck that we want. It will happen before the end of the year. It's almost certain, and like, Ken, you're a lunatic to say that. How are you going to turn 500 into this? How can you guarantee this? And the answer is because the money in the system has to go somewhere, and there's so much of it that there's no place for it to go except the market for a period of time. And President Biden has not come out and been like, I'm not going to continue the pumping of the economy that we've been doing. I mean, it's kind of been working at the top. It hasn't been working at the bottom, but it's been working at the top. And I don't see any reason why it's going to stop. So the money is eventually going to filter to the best companies, and those companies are Tesla. I mean, anything can happen, of course, but watch us do this and join in. I mean, it's never been easier to get a piece of this inflated pie because the pie is so big. So good luck, everybody. May all your trades be winning. Oh, this is, by the way, this is like the laptop of danger. I mean, it's on windy hills. It's near hot tubs. It's in hot springs. Somehow it doesn't get dropped. I'm the biggest klutz of the world. So if this laptop survives, God, I mean, it's so awesome. Let's do this nice. Don't put your hands in. All right, good luck, everybody.